Hey, welcome back to my Python 3 for Beginners tutorial. In this video we're going to do something exciting and we're going to start working with if statements. If statements are basically a way that you can allow your program to make decisions. Basic decisions, multiple decisions, and I'll show you what I mean. So if we were going to be making a program, let's say a game, and we had a score and a high score, like we've done before. So let's say score equals 15, and we'll put high score equals 35. It's like when I'm playing games, that's about what my high score would be, not very good. If we want to check and see if the score is higher than the high score, we can go if score is greater than high score, and then at that point we're done with that line, and the computer needs to know that, hey, the if statement's done, now we got to do something. So at the end of the if statement there you put a colon, which is basically telling it, okay, we're done here, go to the next line. So we could put if score is greater than high score, print, we'll print congrats, and then we're going to put something here. Now let me show you a trick here. Score is an integer, and because I'm printing a string, Python won't let me also print an integer. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute, and then I'll show you how to fix that. Is the new high score. So let's make this higher so that it actually works and I can show you what error we're going to get here. So you see we get a syntax error, and what that syntax error is, it's on line 5, which is right here, and it has it highlighted for us, and it says type error must be string, not integer, because I'm already having strings on here. So how can I fix that? Well, there's something called str, and basically if you have an integer you want to add to your string, you can encapsulate it inside this str, and that'll do the trick. So now if I run it, congrats, 45 is the new high score. But now what if I want to check and see if the score is lower than something? We can do something called elif, which basically means else if, like in other languages, but in this one it's elif. So basically we're saying elif, so elif score is less than high score. And again, we're going to want to put that colon to let it say, hey, to let it know, hey, we're done here, go to the next line, print sorry, and then we're going to do this str again. Score is not the new high score. Okay, and you'll notice again I have these spaces here because when I put this right here, it's not automatically going to space afterwards, so I have to tell it, hey. So that's why, I want a space here, so that's why I have spaces here and spaces here. So now if I put this down to 25 and I run it, sorry, 25 is not the new high score. Now you can also do this with strings. So if I get rid of this, I can put name equals Fred. Now strings, it's done a little bit different. It's mostly the same, but I'll show you what I mean. With a string we would go if name, and then instead of equals we would go is Fred colon print hey Fred. I will run that, and it says hey Fred. But let's say we wanted to check for other names as well. If name is, I don't know, Rick, print hey Rick. Oops, that's not supposed to be if, that's supposed to be elif, elif. ELIF name is Joe. Print, hey Joe. Now if I change Fred to Rick, hey Rick. If I change it to Joe, it says Joe. Now there's one more thing we can do here. What happens if we check for these three, but it's none of those? Well, there's something called the else statement that goes with the if. So you have if, elif, and else. And basically what else is saying, okay, if it's none of these here, then it's whatever I am under here. So it says if it's that, else if it's that, else if it's that, okay, it's none of these, else, and then you're printing you'll print whatever you want it to say. So what else is for is basically else is like a fallback. When there's nothing else that is true in the if or the elif statements, then that's when you would use an else, and whatever you put under else is going to be what would print then. So let me show you here. So if I put print, sorry, I can't find you. Oops. I can't find you in the database. Oops, it still says Joe. Let's put Bob. Now, you probably saw me do something there that I haven't shown you yet, and it's this backslash here. If I take this backslash away, you notice how this changes colors, letting me know that something's not right here. So just by seeing that, I can automatically say, something's not right. And what's not right is because there's an apostrophe here and one here, it's saying, hey, this is the end of the string. What's all this here? So I can do what's called escaping the character, and I just put a backslash before it, and then what that does is it tells Python, oh hey, he wants that apostrophe there, but he doesn't want it to end. Now the other option with that is if you're going to use an apostrophe, a single apostrophe like that, you can put double quotes and it will do the same thing. So if I just do this, sorry, I can't find you in the database. So you can see what else does is when there is nothing else, or when there is nothing that's true in your if statement. So they're not Fred, they're not Rick, and they're not Joe. Well then you got to print, sorry, I can't find you in the database. Don't forget to put your colons at the end of the if, elif, and else, because that's very important to let Python know that that particular line is done. Now if it's true, let's go to the next line and do what it says. Or if it's not true, just skip down right to the next elif statement or the else statement. So those colons are very important. So I hope after this video you have a little bit of a better understanding of if, elif, and else. You also learned about str, and you learned how to escape characters. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.